Yes, students, quickly think of some application area and put it in the chat box where GIS can be used. We have in the previous lecture, we have discussed so many application areas. You can think of some application areas and you can put it. Yes, planning of a colony. Very good. Yes, I request all the 28 students to think of at least one application area and put it in the chat box. It will be a quick revision of our lecture. E-commerce websites like Amazon, Swiggy. Very good. Karan, Nikita, they have answered. Yes, everyone should answer.
Good morning.
Good morning. अरे चलते हैं. चलते हैं.
बहुत आगे है. Good morning.
ज्वाइन करके लिख कर देना. हाँ, क्या ऑनलाइन अटेंडेंस का ध्यान रखो, हमारे पास रिकॉर्ड रह जाता है। Yes, students, I've asked you one question. You can reply in the chat box. नहीं, मैं मोबाइल से बोल रही हूँ, मोबाइल। Yes, students, you can quickly reply in the chat box. Continuous lecture. 9:45 E division, फिर 10:45 डिवीजन, फिर ये 15 मिनट का ब्रेक, यहाँ पे लेक्चर 1 o'clock तक 12 to 1 और फिर 1 to 2:30 प्रैक्टिकल। नेक्स्ट वीक या उसके नेक्स्ट वीक, लेकिन 8 o'clock है प्रैक्टिकल दोनों का। देखना पड़ेगा, अभी टाइम टेबल पता चलेगा। 8 o'clock। हाँ, क्योंकि लैब ऐसा चाहिए ना, मतलब एक स्लॉट TY, फिर SY, फिर FY। हाँ, दोनों 1 बजे। 15 मिनट। हाँ ना, 15 मिनट। यस, PPT खोल के। हाँ, 15 मिनट। ये स्टूडेंट्स आंसर भी नहीं कर रहे हो। हाँ, वेरी गुड, कितने लोगों ने रिप्लाई किया, बाकी भी रिप्लाई करो so that we can move ahead. Quickly reply. Yes, so last class we have given you so many examples. I hope you all remember. Which other games are using location information? Can you tell me? Which games are using location information? Can you tell me? GIS के applications. तुम लोग नहीं थे ना तब तक, इनके साथ थोड़ा कैंडी क्रश, पोकेमॉन, ये सब क्या डाल रहे हैं? कैंडी क्रश में लोकेशन भी डिस्प्ले होता है क्या? क्या चल रहा है यार?
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, location to they will use only for your server ना, मतलब if you are in India तो the nearest server which will be using, तो उसके लिए location services use करते हैं ना आजकल जो।
किसमें बता रहे हो?
Sorry, ma'am.
Which application you are talking about?
नहीं, I am talking in general, like no one, like आजकल तो ऐसा specific नहीं है ना, like only for connection to the server के connection के purposes के लिए ही location use करते हैं ना आजकल तो।
नहीं, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट GIS, जैसे भी गूगल मैप्स है ऐसे, which applications are using GIS? PPT share. से बात कर बंद करो, एक हो रहा है. Yes, students, I'm sharing my PPT. By the time you can just put. Just sharing on the screen. PPT visible है क्या? Is my PPT half visible, right? Okay. रिप्लाई पे रिप्लाई डाल क्या चल रहे थे रिप्लाई पे रिप्लाई here I'm getting notifications
कौन सा ये रख
PPT visible है? Yes, so let me start today's lecture. I had asked you one question that which are the applications of GIS. So you all have given me very innovative answers. We'll start with fundamental observations. So our world is dynamic. Why our world is dynamic? Because many phenomena in our real world, it keeps on changing. That's why we say our world is dynamic. Okay, so I hope my voice is clear and you are able to see the PPT clearly, right? So you can see some the natural phenomena like volcanic eruption, earthquakes, then this sea surface rising, and also these are many events which keep on happening in our real world. That's why we say our world is dynamic. Okay, whatever we see today may not be available or may not be applicable after a few years. Okay, then now why these are happening? Many things are happening, but may not be for a good cause. Sometimes it is very harmful for human beings, and we need to find out what are the reasons for our own safety, for our own benefit. We have to find out that whether it's happening, what is the purpose of all these events, and what is the impact, long-term, short-term impact on our lives. Okay, that's why we need to find out the reasons. It may be your man-made or it may be natural. So if it's natural, maybe somewhere we are only responsible for that to happen. Nowadays, you know that December also it was raining, November it rained very heavily, October there were thunders. Okay, so definitely now we can feel that the climate is changing, right? We have never observed rainfall in November and December, but this year we have observed in October November as well as in December, right? So, of course, these are natural, and there were definitely weather forecasts that it will rain in November, then again it will rain in December. So we are thinking that it might not happen. Okay, the weather forecast may be wrong, but it actually happened. So the forecast, whatever is given, is accurate. Why it is happening? Because they are able to study the various phenomena of Earth, and they are able to make some predictions that if the temperature is low, high, how thunderstorms, rainfall can happen in some parts of this Maharashtra. If there is thunderstorms and all, then in Mumbai the climate was very good, humid, and it was raining, right? So we need to find out what are the causes of all these events, because if we find out the causes, then we'll be able to better face those events. Okay, so there are two events on the surface of Earth. One is the El Nino and the La Nina events. These are happening in the El Nino and La Nina. These events are happening inside the sea. Okay, on the sea surface, these are happening. Okay, so people, because of which in some places there were thunderstorms, and in other places there were droughts and forest fire. Okay, and then these are the big events. But there can be very small events also, like landslides, soil erosion, and all. But of course, if the big event is happening, then many lives are lost. But definitely, small events also causes a lot of problem to some people. Okay, so we need to study even the small events or the large events. But large events has a greater impact, and there may be years which of climate change is happening, because of which these events are happening. So it's very important that we study, and GIS, it's taking a lot of information or study from the geography of Earth. Okay, so you will feel at some place that we are learning geography. आप लोग का 12th 11 कहाँ पे पढ़ा होगा आप लोगों ने? 9th 10th you must have studied geography, right? वो geography के बहुत सारे concepts यहाँ पे आप लोग का revise हो जाएगा, ठीक है? Because we are going to learn, huh? You need to understand, na? TY. नहीं, but GIS, why it's important to learn? शायद मैंने फर्स्ट लेक्चर में तुम लोगों को उसका वो ऑब्जेक्टिव्स नहीं बताया. सी बेसिकली प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ GIS, व्हाट्स द ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ लर्निंग दिस particular chapter, means particular subject, is that you should understand what are the techniques that are being used in GIS, and then you can create your own maps. Okay, once you learn the techniques, then you can create your own maps, then you can do the analysis on your own. If you want to do any kind of analysis like neighborhood analysis, distance analysis, that you can do on your own, and then you can find out means some analysis, then based on that you can do some kind of future predictions. Okay, if this is happening, then what can be the future prediction? So these are the objectives of learning principles of GIS. Okay. So let's go with defining GIS. How will you define GIS? GIS is a computer-based system that provides the following 4 capabilities. So if we are saying that a particular application, if you take any application and if you are saying that yes, it's a full-fledged GIS system, then it should have the 4 capabilities. What's the first one? Data capture and preparation. The software or your application, it should be able to capture the data, and it should be able to prepare the data in particular format. Like if suppose the data is being sent from the sensor, so sensors may send the data continuously in the analog format, that has to be converted into digital format, and it should be stored in the database. So data capture and preparation is the first capability. Then comes your data management, storage, and maintenance. Okay, so what is mean by data capture, storage, and maintenance? That once the data is being captured, we should have some way of storing the data. So at the back end, we should have the database management system. So data will be stored in the form of rows and columns. What do we call it as? If it is stored in the form of rows and columns, we call it as a table, right? In a table, table form, the data is stored in rows and columns. So, but what's the difference between the earlier DBMS that you learned in semester 3 and this DBMS? What's the difference? See, in semester 3, you must have created the student table, employee table and all, but you have not stored their location. Okay. If suppose you are creating the employee data, so you didn't store its location, that where that person is staying or where that person is working or whatever, you have not stored his location. Okay. If you are collecting the student information, if you are writing that yes, these many books are available, so you are not storing its location. But here, what is important, with every object, every line, every point that you create, you are also storing its location. So it's very complicated. Suppose it's a dot, then it will have just x and y coordinates and you can store the location. But if it is a line, then straight line, curved line, okay, any random line, then how many locations we have to store is very important. That's why this database is very complicated and it becomes very huge with the location, its latitude, longitude. And what happens is, if I open the database, I'll be able to see the rows and columns data. But if I convert it into a map, then immediately that point or line will be displayed. It will be put on the map. Okay, India का map होता है ना, तो उस पे वो point particular place पे आ जाएगा. If it's located, if that point is located in Mumbai, in Vadala, or in a particular place, so that dot will appear immediately in that location on the map. So definitely this conversion also takes a lot of time, and that's the second task, the data management, including storage and maintenance, right? Data manipulation and analysis is the third task. What is meant by manipulation and analysis? It means that the data can be modified as per our needs. Okay, we want to make some modifications, some manipulation, we can do some kind of analysis if required. And last is data presentation. Different softwares, they may want the data in different formats, so we should be able to present the data in that format which is required by the application. Okay, so you can think of it as any example. Yes. सब लोग एक बार लॉग इन करके लॉग आउट करना लेक्चर से बस. Okay. So what's, yes, let me just revise. What's the definition? Yes, what's the definition of GIS? Any software that is having the four capabilities. One is data capture and preparation. Just log in log out करो मीटिंग से. ऑनलाइन मीटिंग से एक बार लॉग इन करके लीव कर दो. Okay, so data capture preparation, मतलब you can take any example. ऐसा नहीं कि these are the complicated steps. These are very easy steps. You can easily remember those steps. How? Just think of any application which is using GIS. Okay, like suppose your Google Maps. So Google Maps, what it is doing, it will actually capture the data in various forms. Like if you are driving your car, then also your data is being captured. Okay, so that is data capture. It is being stored in the database. That's data storage, manipulation, storage and maintenance. Then the data of all the different vehicles that are present on the road, every information is stored, and then accordingly what is happening, it is trying to find out whether the vehicles are more, less, and then when it is presenting, it is not presenting how many vehicles are present on the road. Okay, count of vehicles it is not displaying. Earlier it may be displaying count, but count may not be that much useful to you. So what it is doing, it is actually showing the road with different colors, red, green, orange. So you understand that yes, the traffic is more or less. Okay, so accordingly the colors are changing, right? So all these are the 4 steps one by one. And if any application is able to perform all these steps, we say it's a GIS, complete GIS application. Okay. Yeah. So what? सबने लेक्चर लीव किया ना. Everyone, please leave the lecture. लेक्चर लीव करो. Okay, so GIS users, they can expect the yes, they can expect support from other geo-reference systems. Why? Because the geo, every time when the data is collected, it should have the location information. ये बाकी रहेगा. Yes, so GIS users, they expect support from all the different systems. Why? Because every time information is to be collected, it has to be geo-referenced. Okay, so it should have the location information. Okay, so we need the data may be stored in different coordinate systems. So we need to transfer it from one coordinate system to another. Like you have heard about Cartesian coordinates, 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional, isn't it? But in unit number 1, we will see the introduction to GIS. In unit number 2, we'll be learning about the database management system used in GIS. And unit number 3, it talks about the various coordinate systems. Okay, so which are different coordinate systems that are being used. Cartesian coordinates are there, polar coordinates are there, and how the data is being transferred from one coordinate system to another, that we will see. Okay. So I wanted to show you one video on GIS. And yes, students, I'm not able to include the audio, but you please watch the video carefully. एक बार सब यहाँ the mic. Okay, so data capture and preparation, we will understand each and every step with respect to this El Nino and La Nina events. Okay, so what is data capture? Refers to data capture. Data capture means we have to find out the sea water temperature and what is the wind speed on the sea surface. That's why what we have to do, we have to put different sensors at different places on the surface of the sea, so that we'll be able to capture the real-time information. Some sensors to capture what is the temperature, what's the humidity, and then what's the wind speed and its direction. Okay, that's why there will be devices which will be placed at various places on the ocean, and then it will be capturing various informations like the wind speed. So every say 500 meters on the surface of the sea, there will be some sensors. Okay, and these sensors, they will be continuously sending the data. So when the sensors are being placed, sensors are actually analog devices. So when they send the data, they'll be sending it continuously, but the data will be captured at the server maybe every minute or every hour or every day. The data will be captured and it will be stored. But we should also store all the previous data as well. Okay, if the data is changing, then we should not overwrite. We have to capture it and store at different records. अगर हम लोग columns या rows बनाते हैं ना, तो उसके अंदर हम लोग को store करना है data, so that if I want to get some previous data, I should be able to get it. We should not overlap the data, but we have to store it maybe every minute, every hour. We have to keep on storing the data. Okay, so for the simplicity, what you say is sea surface temperature as SST and wind speed, it's written as WS in the book. So you should understand that. Now this is the sensor which are being used on the surface of the sea. The sensor is there on the top and it is anchored at the bottom. And in between also, at some points, the temperature sensor is present. Why? Because we have to not only get the information from the top of the sea or sea surface, we have to also find out what's the temperature in the middle, what's the temperature somewhere inside. So we have to have sensors at different places. Okay, now there's also some problem with those sensors. What happens is, of course, they are means they are stationary, they are anchored from the bottom of the sea, so they are stationary on the surface of earth. But they again, if there are shapes of fishing nets, so they get struck up in those and entangled, and they are destroyed because of various reasons. Okay, so but if suppose the data is being collected every time, the data is being stored on the server. Okay, so this is your data capture and preparation. Now data management. So for data management, what do we have at the back end? You can close your laptop. Flap down, girl. Yes. So what do we do for data management? We have to have the tables at the back end. So tables will not only be storing the census information, but it will also store that which data has been received from which particular sensor and what is the current location of that sensor, because then only the data is valid, right? So it refers to storage and maintenance of data that is being transmitted from different sensors via the satellite communication. The sensors will send the data to satellite, satellite will store it, and it also stores the location of the sensors, the latitude, longitude, so that we'll be able to get the actual information. The analog data may be converted into digital form. It may be converted into various formats. Suppose we are having some other format at the back end, so that format the data needs to be converted so that it will be useful. Okay. Now, next is your data manipulation and analysis. So for manipulation and analysis, see, you can see this figure. Yes, what it is showing, that if it is red or orange, we can assume that these are the hotter areas on the surface of the sea. Whereas if we see some blue or green color, we can assume that yes, these are the colder areas on the surface of Earth. So we can create such type of maps for different years, or we can create it for how every month we can have these type of map, and then we can do the comparison. So based on these comparisons, we can create some animated pictures of how the wind storm is created and how it will be moving on the surface of the sea. Okay. So the data is based on monthly averages of SSTs and WS, so sea surface temperature and wind speed. Average is taken for different months and the data is being plotted. Okay, so we can find out this event generally happens in November, December. So we can see the averages of different years starting from, say, suppose 2000, if we are plotting the data of every year. So what can happen in 2022, we can predict based on what has actually happened in 1919, 20, 21, 22, and then what can happen in the future, right? So these are all the steps we have completed. Yes, there are 4 steps in GIS, all the steps we have completed. Now, data is geo-referenced. What does it mean? Geo-referenced, it means that it is every data is having a location. It is having the location information. That's why we say it's geo-referenced. It's having we are saying that the data with respect to the position on the surface of Earth, right? That's why we say it's geo-referenced. It should have a latitude, longitude information, right? So, for finding out the averages, we can have different techniques. We can find out the daily means we can collect the data every hour. We can find out the daily average. Taking the daily average, we can find out the monthly average, and then we can find out the yearly averages, and we can do the calculation. Then through spatial interpolation, what all we can do, suppose some sensors are not working or some surfaces don't have sensors, but we can find out its data using the spatial interpolation technique. Okay, what is meant by interpolation? Interpolation तुम लोगों ने मैथ्स में पढ़ा होगा ना? Interpolation, see, suppose some points are known points and some are unknown points. So we can find out the values at unknown points by taking the value at the known points. Okay, we can assume, because this natural phenomena, it will not change, it will change continuously. Okay, it will not change abruptly at some place, it will change continuously. And if the change is continuous, then we have the data of known points, we can find out the data of unknown points, right? And then we can also find out what will happen in future. Like if we know the data of previous years, we can find out what can happen tomorrow, what can happen after 2 months, what can happen after 1 year. Okay, to the finest resolution we can find out. So then comes your data presentation. So that graph which we have seen, that's an example of data presentation. So how the user want the data, that way we can present the data. Mask, all of you please wear your mask. अरे मैं बोलूँ कैसे मास्क लगाऊंगी? तुम पहनो हाँ ना, compare. Okay, so okay, yes. So next comes your data presentation. Okay, so data presentation. Just now I've shown you on the graph that how you can show the wind speed, direction, all this with the help of graph. Okay, so there's one poll question for you. This poll question is for online students. That students, yes, quickly answer this question. Do different users have different requirement of data presentation? Yes, quickly reply. All the online students quickly reply. 30 seconds. हाँ, it's only 30 seconds. 30 seconds, I'm going to change the question. Okay, so I hope everyone replied for this poll question. Yes, those are online. Have you all replied? Quickly reply. Okay, so we'll go to next topic. Yes, quite. Now, next topic is issues in which type of data representation can be used. See, when we are using data representation, we have to think of that what is the message that we want to convey, who is the audience to whom we are talking to, what kind of presentation medium we are using, and what are the rules that apply and what are the techniques. So all depending on all this, we have to select the data presentation method. Screen freezed. Okay, I'm doing it. Just a minute. नहीं screen freeze हो गया. Okay, yes, I hope the PPT is visible to all. Okay. Yes, quite. Now, GIS systems, GIS science, and GIS applications. So these are the three concepts that are there, and there's slight difference between all these three concepts. You have to understand this. Okay, geographic information system. What does it mean? It means that a computerized system that facilitate the phases of data entry, management, data analysis, presentation, everything is there in the system. Then we say it's a GIS, geographic information system. Okay, so if you think of QGIS, the software that we will be using for our practicals, do you think it's a GIS system? Yes, Hardik, I want answer from you. Offline students cannot Google. चलो जल्दी जल्दी आंसर बताओ. Just think that the QGIS software that we are using, is it a geographic information system? Okay, so why or why not? Just think of it. We'll be moving to the next slide. Okay, see, basically what it means that we have to think of some system which will be doing all the four functionality, that it will be capturing, then storing, manipulating and presenting. If it is able to do all the four things, then we say it's a geographic information system. Okay, next comes your discipline that deals with the aspects of handling spatial and geographic information. We say it's geographic information science. Okay, so it includes your geoinformatics, geomatics and spatial information services. So if all these are also present, we say it's the geographic information science. And then comes your geographic information system applications. So if you think of QGIS, map, info and all, then that's your GIS applications, because it is using the capabilities of GIS to give some more information to the users. Okay, and project-based GIS systems where different applications like your Ola, Zomato, they are using GIS, so they are not actually collecting or manipulating the data, but they are already, some application is already doing it. They are just using it using some Google APIs and all, and they are projects are created based on that. So we say it's the project-based GIS application. So what about QGIS? ये जितने भी concept बताए ना उसमें से what is QGIS? Is it a geographic information system? So, so is it a geographic information system? It's a complete system, or what it is? Is it a? It's a. बस और कोई आंसर रहने दो. Think and tell me next time. Okay. गूगल कर लेना कल, छोड़. So spatial data, yes, ठीक है. Spatial data and geo information क्या है? That we are having data. Okay, when it's a spatial data, it will have the x and y coordinates. But if it is having the coordinates with respect to the surface of Earth, we say it's the geospatial data. Okay, so what is information? If we collect some data, that's a raw data, but if we put it in some table, some rows and column, then it gives us more information. That's why it becomes information. Okay, and it's, if it is located to the surface of Earth, then it gives us more information, like we see the photos. But if the photos are having geo tags, then that becomes a geographic geo information. Okay, so let me take quick recap of what we have discussed today. See some fundamental observations we have seen, what are the natural phenomena and all this happening, and then how will you define GIS. There are 4 steps, and how these 4 steps are being implemented taking any event. So same way, if you take the example of Google Maps, you can check whether all the 4 things are happening in Google Maps or not, then it's a complete GIS system. Okay, तो वैसे ही तुम लोग को कल बताना है that QGIS, whether it's GIS or not, complete applications are present or not. Okay, so thank you students, means next lecture. Okay, So thank you. There's a quiz on lecture number 3. So please attempt the quiz. Thank you, students, and please write done in the chat box once you are done with the quiz. Thank you all. Bye, everyone.
Hey.